Morning. Let's see who we got in here. I see Tracy already. Hopefully you guys can see and hear me okay. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself here, right? Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Pamela. Thank you, Joanne. Domestic Gangsters up in the house. And from what I understand, you're cold in Florida. It's cold here too. Leah, how you doing this morning? See and hear you. I was trying to keep up with the chat you guys were doing, but I was also making a few notes, checking the news, stuff like that from the office. It's just easier than moving stuff across the house here. Computers and stuff. Dogs get up under my feet. Yeah, it is very cold here as well. I don't know what it is. It's blowing snow, so it's got to be in the low 30s at least, and very windy. Which, you know, hey, got the hot coffee going. I know some of you do too. Let me go ahead and thank the coffee folks. Eric, Loretta, and Stacy, thank you very much for the coffee this morning. Of course, it's Death Wish this morning with a little bit of Irish cream up in it for good measure. What's up, Jason? Oh, Big Red was the first blue wrench up in here. I saw that this morning. Indiana Prepper, how you doing, my man? Heather, good morning. I'm drinking Black Rifle. Oh, not Black Rifle, but Death Wish coffee this morning, Heather, because of you. Biscuits and gravy in the house. That's just fun to say. So let me see here. What do we got? Well, let me do a couple of shout outs here, and then we're going to get into what's going on news wise, prepping wise, and things like that. First of all, Liz Rambo. You guys know who I'm talking about, right? Everybody knows Liz. I'm going to be posting later over on the YouTube page an address to a retirement community in her area. They're totally locked down, and they're asking, you know, if people have time to write physical letters, not emails, guys, physical letters into the retirement community, because those folks are locked down because of the plague. They got a couple of cases there. And so Liz is asking, you know, if anybody in the nation is willing to do that. I'm going to throw the address out there later. They're going to be locked down till at least after the holidays, after Christmas. Den, thank you very much. How does the new normal make you feel? Well, we're going to talk about that here shortly. We're going to I'm going to play a little bit off of Grim Survival's video from yesterday. We're going to talk about the new normal. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Second of all, this comes from MeWe. There's a group called Loss of a Child. If you folks are on MeWe, please check that out. It is, you know, it's a group / support page. Hey, TJ, how are you? For anybody who's lost a child. And, you know, it's totally free to join. It's just another element where you can go and talk to people that have been through the same thing. So it's a good resource, you know, absolutely for free. How's it going down your way, TJ? Any warmer? Because it's freezing up here. Yeah, the new normal sucks. Yeah, we're going to talk about the new normal here. Speaking of MeWe, guys, let me just say this real quick. I was on there late last night. That's usually when I'm over there. And we got into a discussion about height. And I'm actually glad we did. I don't think she's in here. Her name's Sarah, but I finally met the shorty that all the rappers be talking about in their songs. Because this girl's super short. But apparently everybody on MeWe is like 5 foot and below except me. I didn't know that until last night. They were quick to tell me. Yeah, so I don't know if she's in here, but I was kind of laughing about that last night. So I read this morning in the news, Trump is gearing up. Now, I don't know how much truth this is in this. This is mainstream media, so take it with a grain of salt. Trump is gearing up for a run in 2024. This supposedly was leaked from his administration. So if it was leaked from his administration, if that's true, then Trump at this point realizes he's a beaten man. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully he stays in the fight and he, just does not concede the race. But if there's any truth to that whatsoever, we're just a few moves away from Biden being in the White House. The fight is not over, Jennifer. I'm holding out hope, but I continue to see those stories again on mainstream media, different outlets. And so I do start to wonder if there's any truth or it's just a manufactured story, because it could be either one. We know that, right? I hope not. Clean and Cook with Mary. I hope not also. Yeah. Thought it would be Don Jr. for the 2024 run. Luce is over there crying. I understand. What a mess, nation. I understand. But check this out. It's almost like if that's the truth that we're getting in the mainstream media, and if Trump at this point understands that there's no path to victory, which there may still be, but the court systems are not giving him any love. It's like a total role reversal, isn't it? Because for the past 4 years, we've been telling snowflakes to suck it up. Suck it up. He's your president. And they've been like, resist, resist. Well, folks, if this is true, if this story is true, we are the resistance now. We're the resistors. How crazy is that? I never thought I'd be saying that at the end of 2020. John Wright, thank you very much for the super chat, sir. I call fake news. It could be, Cody. They're notorious for fake news, so we will see. But Trump is not done. Crystal, what I worry about with the, if there's any truth to a run in 2024, I wonder if he would be able to win. If he couldn't win back to back, I don't know that he could win in 2024. I don't know if he would have the votes. But, it is what it is. I posted an article down below. It's all the way down below the info to this next segment we're going to talk about. And this comes from, I think it was on BBC News coming out of London, and I have to be careful with the wording here, but in London, they are saying now that potentially, if you do not have the miracle shot and you do not have proof of this miracle shot, you will not be allowed to go into restaurants, bars, cinemas, or sports venues. So this is the new normal, apparently. Because as we all know, it's going to start over there, and then that kind of thought process is going to spread to the United States. Most of us knew this was coming, right? I think they started that here. Boo. That's what I'm saying. We knew it was going to happen. Most of us did. They've already done it, like Live Nation and a few other concert venues. Autumn, it is not normal, but they're trying to, I think, push this as the new normal. Proof of inoculation is the way they had worded it. So in other words, papers. Do you have your papers? Now in America, I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. And I'm going to tell you why. Digna, thank you very much and welcome to the Coffee Club. Thank you for supporting charity. Because we're not going to have any restaurants left. We're not going to have any bars open. The cinemas are going to be closed down, and sports are losing a ton already because of all of these lockdowns. I mean, were they going to threaten to not let us in restaurants that are out of business over here in the U.S.? We're hurting bad, son. Greg, that's a good point. You will not be able to get food or make a living. But right now, you can almost not get food. And it's hard to make a living because everything is shut down. And we're gearing towards another strong lockdown, It'll be grocery stores and jobs. Yeah. So, that looks to be, good morning, Liz. Liz, I'm going to post that. I got your email. I'm going to post that address later over on the YouTube page so I don't misspeak the address out here or anything like that. Jennifer Small, thank you. Let's see here. They're going to start vaccinating minority kids in DC, using them as guinea pigs. Parents too poor to fight back. Doesn't that make you mad? How they always start with the minorities, I did not know that, actually. I kind of assumed that was coming, but the way they prey on not just the minority neighborhoods, but the neighborhoods that are in poverty, how they always use them for guinea pigs for everything. Den, thank you very much for that. You'll have a lot of counterfeiting going on with those papers. I hope so, because I'll be Googling it myself, because I will not comply the words. Yeah, but I was telling somebody a while back, okay, Asia and the UK, they usually have their thing going on, and then America seems to be a month to a month and a half behind. So probably what's going on here in the United States, because we're corporate owned, we know this, we've been through it. Probably what's happening is the US is planning on doing this, but they're going to wait until after the Christmas season, because that's their biggest meal ticket, corporate America's meal ticket. And then after, after Christmas, after the first of the year, look for them. I will not either, TJ. Look for them to kind of slowly make that turn towards, you need your papers to get in, or bracelet, or whatever. I've heard a lot of different scenarios. And the worst part about this particular piece is, not only was it for the inoculation and for having proof, but it said Google, Facebook, Twitter need to thoroughly fact check opposing views. So in other words, you can't even oppose it anymore. Like, why do you have to have proof of anything to have an opposing view? I thought opposing views were allowed, right? You can't just have a personal opinion anymore. Patty Prepper, thank you very much for that super chat. Ma'am, do you understand what I'm saying? So without having the scientific evidence in front of me, without taking the word of Bill Nye the Science Guy, who's not a scientist, I can just sit back and be of the opinion that, it took you guys 6 months to make this thing from scratch. It's not been tested. I think I'm going to pass, bro. And so now I'm going to have fact checkers all over me, basically painting me into a corner and forcing my hand to where I have to prove that this miracle shot is no good. And I shouldn't have to prove that. I should be able to have an opinion on it. I mean, after all, it is my body, my choice, or at least that's what I usually hear when it comes to abortion. So just that. Somebody asked in the lobby before we went live, hold on just a second. Native and Devout, thank you for the super chat. The globalists are rushing to get us to the Great Reset. Honest, hardworking patriots are fighting back here in America and all over the world. I hope so. If we are fighting back, we're not winning right now. I can tell you that. It doesn't look like America when I go to the store, and that brings me into, did you guys check Grim Survival out yesterday? Did you see Grim's video? Somebody was asking, what is up with Grim Survival? I'm going to check over here. Did anybody see the video Grim put out yesterday? It was a pretty strong opinion video, Son of Liberty. Yeah, so a lot of people have seen it. There we go. Awesome. So you guys know what I'm talking about. I sympathize with Grim. I understand what he's saying. I've been in the mall recently, Black Friday actually, and had no mask on, and had a door person in one of the stores approach me and say, do you mind putting your mask on? And I think my reply was, I don't even remember now. Do I mind, or will I do it? It was a sarcastic response. Selling Prepper. I don't know if it's true, but I was told that there's going to be an electronic number and plant in my family has big issues with numbers. Yeah, absolutely 100%. It is insane right now what is going on based on the Wuhan, or whatever you guys want to call it, you know, the China plague. It doesn't really matter what I call it. They're going to demonetize the video probably anyway. You know, but it's insane. Like, they are pushing so many agendas off of the back of this thing. But yeah, Grimm yesterday was fed up, and I don't blame him a bit. He's fed up. Now, here's the thing I will say. When you go into a store, if they have a sign posted saying, you know, wear a mask, and you choose to go in the store, at that point, I mean, you're kind of at the mercy of whoever runs the store, because it is their property. What I take issue with is not being able to walk down the street that my tax money pays for without being fined or jailed for not wearing a mask. To me, that's just ignorant. Carmen, thank you very much for that super chat and the mascot. So I understand where Graham's coming from. I really do. You know, like when I was telling you I was in the mall on Black Friday, you know, I just smarted off and I pulled my little gator deal or whatever it is up to pacify these people that are so out of shape at the door now they can't breathe when they walk across the room, but they're worried about the you know, the Wuhan or whatever. But to pacify their fears, you know, because I'm in their establishment. Now, walking down the street, being in a public park, anything that I've paid for, and being told that I need to mask up, at that point, to me, it's not freedom anymore, guys. Stacy B, welcome to the coffee club, and thank you for giving to charity, ma'am. But yeah, what I was going to say to Grimm, I don't think he's in here, but maybe he'll catch it later, is, brother, 2021 is going to be a lot worse than what we're going through right now, unfortunately. I don't think it's just going to be, I think it was Menards he was talking about. I don't think it's just going to be the Menards franchise. I think they're going to get way out of control with this whole mask fear deal. Now, don't get it twisted, right? The illness that's going around, it's real. All right. I know people here locally, know them personally, have got family members that have been through it, that have been affected. It is real. But at what point do you cross a line and just totally give up your freedoms and say, here, you know, let me put this mask on, please, government, take care of me? At what point do you reach a line? Grin Wolf. So is Grimm off of the gathering based on his interest in the physical fight? No, I don't think so. I haven't spoken to him since last night, but no, I don't think so at all. There were varying opinions. The meeting that you guys saw was most of the meeting. We did talk for a few minutes beforehand, and you know, there are a few creators that want to get a little more, shall we say, hands-on. You know, that believe petitions and things aren't enough, and that organization at this point is not enough. And I certainly understand that position, but I think you need to be extremely smart about it, because I think the extreme left and these extreme groups have been trying to bait the right into that mindset for a long time. Because at that point, we're no different than they are. You understand? We have a different ideology, but our actions are the same, and we cannot allow ourselves to go down the same road. All right, so I want to say a quick thank you to the moderators, to Coffee Club members. I'm going to tell you about this in a second, and remind you, patrons, if there are any patrons in here, I will be live tonight, Patreon exclusive at 9 p.m. It's a lot easier over there to chat because there'll be like 50 people in the lobby or something. But anyway, the charity that we're going with for December. I know it's only December the 1st, but Rudy at Alaska Prepper. I was supposed to be co-streaming with him to help him raise money for food banks and things, but he may not have the bandwidth. He called here a couple of nights ago and said that where he's at in Alaska, he doesn't know if he would be able to co-stream. So what we decided to do over on Patreon is Rudy's raised a bunch of money over there for turkeys to give out before Christmas up in his area. And the December fundraiser over on Patreon, we're going to send money as well. We're going to donate straight over to Rudy. And so he's going to be buying bunches of turkeys. So I just wanted to tell you guys that you people are talking about Pinball's video. I've not had a chance to go see it yet. What is Pinball talking about this morning? For those of you that have seen it. Because I keep seeing it and I'm totally clueless on what he was talking about. I'm sure it was good. I just don't know what it was about. Smell Buds, the live tonight is 9 o'clock. I try to keep all of the live streams at 9 o'clock. 9 is easy to remember. So Saturday, and then Saturday is over here on YouTube. Tuesday is, my dog is into something. Jesus Christ. Hold on, guys. Bruno. Trying to get in the groceries or something over there. Sorry. So Tuesday is the Patreon only, the exclusive, and it's at 9 o'clock as well. And then over here on YouTube, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. Oh, okay. Pinball was saying anyone who wants physical violence is gone from his channel and the group. Let me see here for a second. Yeah, I'm going to get my son to get the dog. Man, he is out here terrorizing. Anybody else have a puppy?
Guys, I'm so sorry for that. Bruno.
You can... Sorry about that, guys. My puppy likes to chew on things. So yeah, I didn't realize that. I've not been over there to Pinball's yet. It's on the list to watch this morning. I'm glad that he covered that. I mean, we have to be smarter than that. You know what I mean? We have to be smarter because the left, they own the conversation. So if we stoop down to their level, we become what they accuse us of, you know, and we can't do that. We cannot give them the moral high ground. Can you imagine the extreme left with the moral high ground? Just can't do it. The Fiddle Rocker, thank you. I personally wear a Halloween mask in stores. Maybe we should all wear Halloween masks as a statement, since all is required is a face covering. Yeah, that or Prepper Now. Get a mask like Prepper Now. True American. I just want to stand up for America and our Constitution. We all do. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Thank you for that super chat, by the way. There's a right way and a wrong way. So, for example, number one, I think we need to get organized, which Pinball is working on. He's doing a magnificent job. And to touch on what I was talking about yesterday, okay, go into a Starbucks and squat. We organize that. We cost the Starbucks insane amounts of money for a few weeks. And then we contact the corporate headquarters and say, look, if you don't soften your stance a little bit, more Starbucks are going to be affected. We're just going to start squatting on a bunch of them, right? Because these people understand money. You need to do it peacefully. Now again, if you organize and you're somewhere and these far left groups come up to you, at that point, yeah, definitely defend yourself within, you know, the law. Nobody's going to be expected to stand there and take it, but you don't want to initiate it, because once you initiate it, they have the high ground, and you don't want to, not with these clowns. You know what I'm saying? Not with these clowns. So later on, guys, I'm going to be posting a review of this. Got this yesterday in the mail. Finally, it is night vision, Gen 1 night vision. I'm going to be going over it like a pre-recorded video. And I want to say thank you to Magic Prepper, sort of. He suggested it in one of his videos. I went over and checked it out, and then I had to leave, so I didn't actually buy it. And I remembered it a few days later, and I went back to buy it, and they were sold out. And so I actually had to pay extra. I had to track it down through somebody else. But thank you. Mask and Banks, Liz. Never thought I'd see the day. Yeah, and somebody else pointed out, I guess it depends on the state that you live in, but you can't open carry, a boomstick, a hand boomstick or whatever. You can't open carry while you're wearing a mask. So this presents a huge problem. So even if it's legal in your state to carry, once you put a mask on, you are theoretically breaking the law. So I don't know. But yeah, the whole night vision, that will be coming later this evening. What I'm going to try and do is schedule it before the prepping live streams, because just like you, I like to get on in the evenings and watch the live streams. Drives me nuts when I get on and nobody's streaming. I'm like, are you kidding? The whole prepping community, nobody's live streaming at night. And then other nights you'll have 4 or 5 streaming at one time. Let me see here. Camping trip with the caveman. I talked to the caveman last night, and apparently my buddy James, he was under the impression that we were taking some sort of a nice tent. And I said, no, son, this is not glamping. We're going out there primitive. So I could hear the fear in his voice. He thinks he's an excellent fire maker. He better be an excellent fire maker, is all I can tell him. He normally does not wear shoes in real life, but we're going to be going out this month, December. And like I said, it's cold. So he will be wearing shoes of some sort. I'm doubting very seriously we're going to be out there in the freezing cold, blowing snow or whatever, and him be barefooted. I seriously doubt it. Dog tag winners. I announced earlier this week on the YouTube channel. You guys have until about Friday, and then I have to mail them out because some people got back to me within 5 minutes, and they're just sitting around waiting. Klinger's in the house. Did I see Klinger? Hold on. What's she doing awake? What time is it there, Klinger? Like 1 in the morning? What are you doing? And let me see. If you guys could please shoot a quick thumbs up. The algorithm has been all over me every single time that I live stream. As soon as I end the live stream and I go over, I have the yellow limited ad suitability, which basically means you said something that advertisers don't like. And the algorithm flags it, and then I have to put it in for a personal review, and they usually overturn it. Sally, the list is over. It's on the YouTube page under the community tab. I don't remember, to be honest. There were 3 or 4 names that the website pulled up that I'd never even seen before that had commented. So it could be that they have not subscribed to the channel. If they haven't subscribed, they don't know they won, which means that I'll have to do another drawing of names for the ones that are not claimed and mail those out. So be sure you folks are subscribed. Otherwise, you will not see the post. Finally, somebody asked in the lobby, who was that? Trust in God First. Asked, what is the one thing I would do differently since YouTubing? I would have been a lot more organized out of the gate. I would have had my stuff together a lot better than I have. But beyond that, we're 30 minutes in. We got 30 minutes to go. It's wide open, guys. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever you are contemplating. See what I did there? We can talk about whatever. We can talk about the new normal. Game of Thrones, Game of American Thrones, just throwing the winner list out there. Good Lord, man. That's awesome. Why is Trump pushing this vaccine? Teresa, that's a good question. I think that he was pushing it because he wanted to swoop in and look really good right before the election. So he can say that he beat the CV-19 all by himself, you know, because that's how Trump rolls. But I don't think it matters now. I mean, I hope that he does pull off a win. I really do. But yeah, thank you, Game of American Thrones. That is helping. But it's not looking good. I'll be honest. I don't want to give you guys false hope. It's probably 95% to 5% at this point, Biden. Tabitha, it's not the new normal unless we allow it. Yep, I totally agree. And hopefully enough people do not comply. Becky Reed, bug out clothes and boots. It depends on the area that you live in. But in my area right now, I'm thinking stay warm. I'm thinking extra layers of clothes. I'm thinking really warm boots, an extremely good coat, things of that nature. I'm huge on mummy bags as well that trap heat. Trump will not make it mandatory. Voodoo Queen. Well, that's the thing. It's just like the whole don't comply. It can only be mandatory if we allow that. You know what I mean? As long as we have our Second Amendment, at least. Now, they'll probably come after that at some point soon. Judy O'Hara, thank you very much for that super chat, ma'am. Heads or tails living, I did, but it was like 10 minutes before I went live. It looked really good. Are you talking about the digital looking one? It looked really good, if so. Welcome to the coffee club. Oh my God, somebody's doing this just to mess with me. Scrivania. I hope I did not mispronounce that, but I can promise you I did. So sorry. But thank you for donating to charity and welcome to the coffee club. Who made the most money during the lockdowns? I would think, I mean, I don't really know. I don't have stats in front of me. I would think the biggest companies would have been like Amazon and Walmart. Walmart was doing a lot of pickup in my area. And then, of course, Amazon was delivering hand over fist. Maybe your streaming companies. Jack Watts, thank you. Just wanted to buy you a cup of coffee from Nashville. Keep up the good work. I will not comply. Thank you for the coffee and for not complying. Somebody asked about the coffee mug this morning right before I came on the air. It is. Sometimes I get compared to Ross from Friends. I don't know why that is, guys, but I had a Ross and Rachel moment yesterday. I'm not going to get into it, but if they're in here, they know. Make sure to have the following for stomach bug. Popsicles. I did not know that. Ginger ale, Kamal tea, bread crackers, Advil, Pepto-Bismol. How long, Grinwolf, how long till isolation makes people go off the deep end? It's not going to be much longer. And that's good. I think at the first of the year, what we're going to see is Biden, again, if he's in the White House, which I'm not hoping for that, but if he's there, you're going to see governors like Gretchen and Gavin Newsom, Northam. I think that they're just going to get way out of control with lockdowns and mandates because they'll believe they can get away with it at that point. and people are just going to start going nuts. They're tired of being locked down. I'm tired of being locked down. I can tell you that. And apparently Grim Survival is tired of it too. Haven't seen that video yesterday. Hiding from Biden. Yeah, the left, what were they, riding with Biden? And now the right, we're going to be hiding from Biden. Depression will get bad from these lockdowns, Stacey B. It really will. I mean, it has quite a bit in certain countries and certain areas. I mean, you can't continually lock down, I should say, a nation of people that are used to being free. You just can't do it, you know? People are sick of it. Now, you're always going to have those people that are living in fear, and they just, you know, they're going to cower in a corner in their own home, and they're going to be wearing a hazmat suit or whatever. But the average person is just ready to get on with life, you know? Native and Devout, thank you. What advice do you give serious content creators who are constantly dropping videos but can't seem to get any momentum? That's a very good question. The number one thing that I will say, and this is coming from someone who watches a lot of prepping and then, of course, puts it on here, is be honest. A huge part of the prepping community seems to be here for the money. And the thing about those guys and gals is you can tell when somebody's here for the money. You can tell because it's overly commercialized. They're always pushing, you know, all of the links. But when people are here for the right reasons, you know, I promote every now and then, you know, but what I normally do is I just drop the links below and push them at the end. I try to push them at the end now. And don't fear monger, Leah. That's very good. There's a fine line between scaring people to death every single day and being too passive, right? Which I'm sure when we had the meeting, the gathering, people thought I was being too passive. But I think there's a line where you have to take things seriously while also not scaring the crap out of people. I will get emails from folks who have been on other channels, and they're like, you know, asking, I saw this here. Do I really need to worry about it? And exclamation marks. And I'm like, calm down, first of all. All right. It is serious, but at the same time, you know, don't live in a constant state of fear. Just don't do it, you know. Not everything that glitters is gold. Balance. That's very good. Balance and honesty, you know. Desert Patriot, listen more than you speak. I'm trying to, yeah, I'm getting there, man. Myself, it's like 50-50 now, you know. One of the things I learned early on is with all of the Prepper Nation business going on, the pre-recorded videos, recently I started putting all of that info at the back end of the video because people were getting upset, you know, waiting 7 or 8 minutes before we actually got into the subject. But that was just me being a newbie on YouTube and still learning, man. Everybody's got to learn, I guess. Be authentic. Yeah, Tracy, that's very good. I can go on a channel now because I watch them all the time, and within 5 minutes, you know, tell you if somebody's being authentic or they're just there to try and make a cheap buck. Cinderella, Life Straw versus Sawyer Mini. I prefer the Sawyer. It has a much longer life, and then also it connects to water bottles, you know, like your Aquafina or whatever, and just a little easier to use. Now, if I catch Life Straws on sale, like an insane sale, I'll buy them up because they're good as well. But yeah, Sawyer Minis, in my opinion, are better. Life straw, you're stuck at the water source. Yeah, Lance. I mean, life straws work too. It's just a little more convenient with the Sawyers. Please hit the thumbs up, Tracy. I'm not sure why that's hiding. It's high. Aquafina. Well, you know, Nicole, I'm just throwing it out there. I couldn't remember what's the other one, Dasani or something. I'm sure there are plenty more. Life straws $9.99 on Amazon, Shauna said. That's the kind of deal I'm talking about. If you can get them for $10, ain't nothing wrong with life straws. They work. You know, just as well as the Sawyers, especially at that price. New water. I got the mini because you suggested. Yeah, that's, I mean, at that price, you really can't go wrong. Because it's going to do what you need it to do. And for, you know, what are they, $20 for the Sawyer minis? Now, obviously they make better systems, but you're not going to get them for $20. I like the Sawyer mini as well. And good morning, Kelly. I've seen you in here. I don't think I've told you good morning. Mini like $20. Yeah, I've seen them, Grin Wolf. I've seen them like as cheap as 16 or 17 in the store. Now I don't know about on this all online crazy stuff. Have you seen the H5N8? I have not. What is that? Brittany had a good question. I'm digging for it. I'm digging for it. I'll be on the lookout for it again. I'm sorry. It's buried at this point. New strain of bird flu. No. But wouldn't that just, you know, be the way to cap off 2020? Good Lord. No, I haven't watched any. Thank you, Liz, for that bird flu. Yeah, I haven't watched any prepping this morning. I'm doing this live stream, and then I have a list of people that I watch regularly, daily. You know, like Prepper now, I watch Graham, I watch TJ. I'll check Some Bear Independent out. Angry Prepper, I'll go see if he's posted anything. Magic Prepper. I'll go through this list. And then, of course, at night, if somebody's live streaming, I just bounce in there. What's your opinion on just having water purification tablets, prepping outside the box? If that's all you have, I mean, they work, but I would have at least more than one way to purify water. That's just me. I would at least carry a life straw and or a Sawyer mini. If you can't afford it and you do have the tablets, research and practice filtering water. You know what I'm saying? With sand and charcoal, 2-liter bottle. I mean, there's ways to do it. You just cut the top off, you flip it upside down. You gotta have some grass. Have plenty of ways to boil water. TJ has a really good video on bird flu. I will check that out. Is that on? Because she's been posting on Rumble a lot. I've been checking out her Rumble stuff too. Klinger Christie. Christy, did you change your, am I going blind? Did you change your picture a little bit, or maybe it's just early in the morning? Brittany Nicole, do you think the push for private property abolition will come soon? I don't think they're going to push for that outright. I think that they're going to jack taxes up and they're going to try and force people off the land that way. They're going to be sneaky about it for a few years and try and inconvenience people and kind of price private property out of their affordability. But yeah, we could start seeing that as soon as next year. especially with the economy in shambles. Need a list of Rumble links, Mary. Mine is in the description below. Most of the creators, like if you follow us here on YouTube or you follow TJ or whoever, their Rumble links are usually in the descriptions. That's how I find them anyway. I saw that, Mammy. Biden broke his foot, and she put that he broke his foot kicking in the White House door. PT, I don't want to give you bad advice on that. I will tell you, because I'm not a financial advisor. I will tell you that Pinball Preparedness is probably the one you want to talk to on that. He used to work in finance. I don't want to give you, bad advice or something, and then your mortgage end up being $5,000 a month, and get that email. I would just rather avoid that financial advice altogether. Biden's dog is a Republican. Well, Alex, is this where conservatives stand? Will Trump leave peacefully, or will he stay silent? The fact that he's staying silent is what really concerns me. That concerns me, because either he knows he's a beaten man and he's just trying to you know what I mean? How you leave a party and you hope nobody notices. Either that's going on, or he truly does not plan to leave. Yeah, trust in God first. The Democrats don't know what to do, because Trump is not normally the kind of person that is silent. We can all agree on this, right? I mean, he'll tweet a little bit here and there now, but even his Twitter's calmed down. So either he knows he's at the end of a presidency, which I hope that's not the case, or he just doesn't plan on giving the keys to Biden. I keep hearing about the Kraken. I mean, they may release some killer information, the last week of his presidency or something that just turns the entire country upside down. Kraken is real. I believe it is. The anticipation's killing me, though, Oh no, he is about to unleash some serious fraud. Just watch this upcoming week. I hope so. I hope that's what it is. I hope his lawyers, exactly, conserve friends. I hope his lawyers have said, shut up, back off the tweeting. Don't say anything publicly, and we're going to nail him the right way. I hope that's what's going down. But it brings up a whole new set of problems. If they are able to PB, welcome to the coffee club. Brings up a whole new set of problems, though, because if Biden and President Kamala Harris, I'm going to get some hate for that, are involved, then what do you do? If in theory they won the election and there was tons of fraud, at that point, who takes over? Does Trump keep the White House and we just have another election? Does Pelosi take over after a certain date? Be unprecedented. We will have the fight of our lives soon. Game of American Thrones. Oh yeah, that's coming. That is definitely coming. In many ways. Financially, I think the country, no Pelosi. I think that, Pelosi actually, right? I see her in the background over here. Financially, the country, the wheels are falling off, and they're pushing more lockdowns. They're pushing the fear with the masks. They're pushing this miracle shot onto people and threatening not to let them go anywhere without proof of the miracle shot. So let's just throw some bird flu in, for good measure, right? Pelosi needs to go. Pelosi has needed to go for 25 years. I mean, she just is hanging on like a loose tooth, boys. Retire and go away. Even if she retired, she would, write a tell-all book or something and do a book tour. You'd still see her on TV 24/7. They'd bring her in on the 5 over on Fox or something. Don't take the VC. Yeah. I mean, I'm not. You folks are grown-ups. All of you except for the shorties that I was talking to over on MeWe last night. I don't know if you guys are grown-ups. You're way too short. But yeah, as a grown-up, I mean, you folks have to make your own mind up on the VC that's being pushed as mandatory. But me, no, I'm good. Me, I just, is it too much to ask to not have one pushed through in 6 months? And is it too much to ask to see it properly tested before we start unloading it off of trucks hand over fist and just in everybody? Not me. Lead injection for them. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's not like we're asking for a lot here. Can we just have something that we don't have to worry is going to kill us? Do you think there will be a national lockdown? Tammy, I think that there's going to be most of it. There are going to be a few states that resist it. They're just not going to lock down. It's going to look a whole lot like lockdown 1.0, except this time around, our economy is not booming like it was before. It's the wheels are falling off of the economy. So once you lock it down this time, and most of the states go into lockdown, you're just going to be in the gutter somewhere, and then potentially have President Biden to fix the economy, which Joia T, thank you very much for that super chat. And I don't have a lot of faith that a Biden presidency would be able to pull us out of a Great Depression. I really don't. Not when their answer for everything is free. Let's give out for free. Because that doesn't fix the long game. I did not, KM. I did not. Indiana Prepper, lick that like button. Wow. But yeah, I mean, we're starting to see the lockdowns come back now, and it's just gonna get worse. The miracle shot is designed for sterilizing. I had not heard that. Whether it's designed for that or not, it could end up doing that just because they haven't tested it. You know what I mean? Liz, didn't they just print stacks of new money? Yeah, they continue to print stacks of money with nothing behind it. And then they wonder why. They wonder why groceries have tripled. You hear, I've heard my grandparents say, oh yeah, you used to be able to get a loaf of bread for 10 cents. That's because that 10 cents actually had something backing it, in the form of precious metals. But now a loaf of bread's $3 because there's nothing behind it. It's worthless. It's fiat currency. The reset is on the way, ushered in by Biden Harris. Jennifer, I think so too. I think that people in this country with extreme wealth have stolen the wealth from this country. They've stolen, the stuff that we had backing the money originally. the precious metals. They've taken it and now they need a cover story. Now they need something to where they don't get caught. They've kicked the can down the road to the point where it can't be done anymore. Enter the CV-19 and they can all point to the CV-19 and say, that's what did it. We didn't take any money. So let's switch over to digital, have a digital reset so they can start doing it to us all over again. In Pennsylvania, you can get fined and pulled over for not wearing masks in your car, Grinwolf. Now, that's what makes me upset. I understand Grim Survival yesterday. I understand why he's upset. But at the end of the day, he chose, if they had it posted, I don't know, he chose to go in without a mask, right? Which is in itself ridiculous enough that you would have to wear a mask in a store. But when you're in your own car that you've paid for and you're driving down the street that your tax money pays for, this is not China, right? This is supposed to be a free country. And it just upsets me. Yeah, I mean, it really does. What upsets me about it the most is a majority of the populations in these areas aren't saying anything. They're just going along with it. They're not saying a word about it. These governors are just signing off these ridiculous orders, and people are like, okay, boss. They're not doing anything about it. They're not saying, well, wait a minute now, you know, I was born here, a free human being. How's this freedom? But you just have single file lines of people saying, okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll jump right on that, sir or ma'am. Do not trust banks. Still win silence. Of course not. When you take a look at banks and they look like mansions, you got to wonder where the money came from. You know what I'm saying? Or you go down into a city or something, and the nicest buildings there are usually banks. The money's coming from somewhere. Good morning, Richard. Yeah, I mean, Pennsylvania and, of course, Michigan, California, they're just, the states are filled with people, again, saying, okay, boss. And then you have a real small crowd over here saying, what is going on? You know, it's insane. PB, I agree with you 100%. Thank you. I wish there were more of us. I mean, I really do. I understand. I might have to go back and watch Grimm's video again. He was fired up, and I get it. I totally do. I back him 100% on that. But like I said, 2021 is going to be worse because most of the country is going to, I think by the end of 2021, we're not going to be able to walk down the street without a mask on, you know? The end of the world as we know it, made in China. I mean, and look, how can I put this in a nice way? Why would we want to turn into a country like China? I mean, you can do 10 minutes worth of research on China and realize this ain't the place you want to be. Why would we take a country like the United States and China it up? It makes no sense to me. Blue Ridge Patriot, you want to protest, change your tax filing status to exempt and show Congress who really has the power of the purse. To exempt, how can we do that actually? I mean, legally. Well, I mean, I guess I could claim that my home was what, an autonomous zone. Isn't that what they were calling it? And yeah, I guess I could do that. Put up a mural to old George out front and tell him I'm just not paying it. You know, it's an autonomous zone. It's our country up here now. We're not Americans anymore. No, we're not paying American tax. It's not the law to pay taxes. That's a good place to close, because I want to mention that blue collar. Think about this, right? We don't have debtors' prisons. You can't be locked up for any, if you owe people money, you owe companies money, they will call and harass you on the phone, but you can't be arrested for it. However, if you owe the U.S. government money, they'll lock you up in a New York minute, son. And I'm trying to figure out how that is. Pretty good point, I think, anyway. They don't even play by their own rules. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Paul. Good way to end up in jail. Screw with the IRS. But why is that? When there are no debtor prisons anywhere else in the United States. You know what I mean? They'll take your paychecks too. Yeah. You are an employee of the United States of America, Charles. That pretty much sums it up. You are here to be a little worker bee, and yeah. All right, let me get this last question here, guys. Klinger just sent something over here. How do you say no to the miracle shot when they won't let anyone return to work without it? You've got to, it's easier said than done, I know, but you've got to become self-sufficient. You've got to get into homesteading. You have to get to the point where you can make it without any sort of assistance whatsoever, even a paycheck, because that's the only true freedom that you're going to experience. Otherwise, they've got you. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Cinderella. If that makes any sense, guys, you start out as a prepper. You're prepping for the short term, but the long-term goal should be homesteading, getting to a point where you can produce your own food, to where you have solar, to where you have your own water system, and then you don't need anything. Property tax, if it came down to it, Darren, it depends on how much property you had. If that was a huge concern, you don't need a lot of property. You could sell produce or something like that at a farmer's market. You could do a little work on the side, at least until they switch us to all digital. Maybe if you're good with mechanic work, you could work on people's cars, things like that. Everybody's got a hustle. Everybody has a talent. It's just a matter of using that talent. But that's the ultimate goal. And I highly suggest you folks, if you're not doing it, check out Prepper Nurse 1, because that's exactly what he's doing right now. Angry Prepper is live. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this up so I can go watch Angry Prepper. You folks have a blessed rest of the day, and I'll be posting a video later. God bless.